Hey everyone, Twin Cities elections are right around the corner. Election day is Tuesday, November 4th. If you're eligible to take part in this election, I cannot recommend highly enough that you do so. In my experience, voting on campus for a presidential election took 5 minutes tops, so this should be a breeze. In the spirit of making it as breezy as possible, here is a quick guide to registration, finding a polling place, and some of the major candidates. Not sure if you're already registered to vote in Minnesota? mnvotes.sos.mn.gov has a convenient page for checking that. Just enter some personal information and you'll learn if you're registered or not. If you aren't, you can register beforehand online or using paper, or you can register at your polling place on election day. In order to vote, you must have been a resident of Minnesota for 20 days, meaning if you're a student, you should be able to vote in this election. No matter where in the city you live, any Minneapolis resident can vote on the days leading up to the election by visiting Minneapolis Elections and Voter Services. The building is in Northeast Minneapolis and is fairly accessible from campus through the 2 bus. Early voting is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays the week before Election Day and is open at various times during the first few days of November. If you instead choose to vote on Election Day, you'll want to find your polling place. The Minnesota Secretary of State website has you covered there, too. Just go to pollfinder.sos.mn.gov, enter your address, and you can see exactly where your polling place is, along with what will be on your ballot. Speaking of which, Jacob Frey is the incumbent mayor. He's a former civil rights lawyer and was elected in 2017, winning re-election in 2021. I don't recommend voting for him. He has had some good decisions and achievements, but overall he has not been a good mayor. He has clashed with city council and stalled city governance. He has failed to sufficiently engage with community. Instead, he consistently prioritizes the interests of landlords and big businesses over the interests of his constituents, and this isn't a surprise given the amount of financial support he receives from political action committees funded by landlords, corporations, and business groups. His approach to homelessness has been harmful and unproductive. He has done nowhere near enough to address police violence. In 2020, he announced a ban on no-knock warrants, but after Amir Locke's death in 2022, he admitted that this claim had been untrue. He has used his power to stall or stop some genuinely good things, like the Labor Standards Board and the East Phillips Neighborhood Institute's indoor urban farm. Most of his biggest talking points consist of complaining about problems that he has had the power to address for 8 years. His campaign advertisements against Fateh have been filled with misleading portrayals of cleared ethics committee investigations against Fateh. They've been in very bad faith. Not every single thing that Frey has done as mayor has been bad, but the bar needs to be so much higher than that. Please do not rank Jacob Frey. The other 3 main candidates are far better options. Here's a brief overview of each. Omar Fateh is a Minnesota state senator. He has a strong record of working with people with different political backgrounds, most notably in a Republican-controlled state senate in 2022. He was the most supported candidate at the Minneapolis DFL endorsement convention. He has consistently supported University of Minnesota workers and student activists, and his campaign has focused on affordability, improving transit, and supporting workers. Dwayne Davis is a reverend and former congressional staffer. He is endorsed by Outfront and Stonewall DFL and would be the first LGBTQ+ mayor of Minneapolis. He co-chaired the City Community Safety Working Group, which gives him strong insight into public safety issues. His campaign priorities have included good governance, diversified community safety, and housing. Jazz Hampton is a former attorney and now an adjunct professor. In 2020, he founded the app Turn Signal, which connects drivers with attorneys during traffic stops. Drawing on his own experiences, he's focused on making small business ownership more accessible. He also focuses on housing, on alternative public safety solutions, and climate justice. I recommend looking more into each of the 3 candidates and choosing which order to rank them, but I highly recommend choosing them as your top 3. I also really recommend looking into the city council elections, where your votes will have even more of an impact. If you're using your campus address, odds are you'll be voting in the Ward 2 election. Incumbent council member Robin Wansley is up against Shelley Madore. I would recommend voting for Wansley in this election. For 2 terms, she has consistently shown up for students. She really cares about engaging with what matters to those on campus. She's strong overall on environmental, transit, and housing issues. Her knowledge of the community is evident in the work she does. She's criticized for scoring political points, but I think that this refers to political issues that students and community members care about and are frustrated by general political inaction around at the national and state level, and which are city issues too. Also, full transparency, she complimented my outfit once, so maybe that makes me biased. Wansley's rival, Shelley Madore, has some good policy positions. She has solid legislative experience, but she also has lots of what I would consider to be red flags that I think indicate she isn't the best fit for this district. Notably, she's endorsed by one of Frey supporting business and landlord PACs. Her stances on labor and public safety are concerning. The rhetoric that the All of Minneapolis PAC is using to promote her ahead of Wansley is full of scare tactics and misleading rhetoric with lots of fear-mongering around crime and socialism. It's practically ripped from the 1950s, and I think it would be a true loss if we let this brand of politics oust someone with a proven track record of advocating for her constituents. You'll also have the chance to vote in 2 Parks and Recreation elections and for the Board of Estimate and Taxation. These are also incredibly important elections, but I'm going to immediately undermine that statement by admitting that I haven't done enough research on these yet to talk about them confidently. Once I do, I'll put an update in the comments. Again, more resources can be found in the video description. These city elections are closely contested and incredibly important. Please take the 5 to 15 minutes that it takes to vote. Bring friends, bring roommates. The University of Minnesota student body will absolutely make an impact in this election, and I seriously hope you take part. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.